good 3-point defense, and why do you think you guys are so effective in that area?
I think just having the urgency to get the shooters, understanding where those threats are at all times on the floor. And some of it's game plan. We're going to run certain guys off. Of it is also pick and roll coverage, where if we're switching, we're down the floor, you don't get caught tagging quite as much. And anytime you put two on the ball, somebody's open. So I think it's just a combination of all of that.
Have teams gotten better, as the frequency of 3-pointers has risen? Have teams gotten better at defending?
Honestly, I don't know if the numbers bear it out, but I think just the urgency and understanding that value and how much value the teams put on that shot. I think there's just a heightened awareness to it. If you give up a lot of threes, you're going to have tough nights.
Wes, everyone good to go practice today, right?
Yes. Yeah, Davis is still out.
We talked to you a lot about Denny. Where have you seen him improve since the start of the season, or maybe since he came in and started working before training again?
I think defensively, and it's part of it. Maybe he had it, and I just didn't know about it. But he he stepped up to the challenge and been able to guard key matchups for us. His size and physicality, his ability to move his feet. It's good to see, because I'm not going to say that I knew he could do it. I think the offense will click, and he'll start making shots once he gets more comfortable. But he's really carved out his niche early in this season as a defender for us.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like especially with young defenders, a lot it's the one-on-one defense that's maybe easier to learn or comes more naturally than the team that helps stuff.
Yes.
Where is he in that area? Is that kind of correct for him?
No, that's correct. I think he's still kind of figuring out. He gets caught a lot over helping. And I think that's where, his heart's in the right place. He sees a missed assignment, he goes to help, but there's no purpose behind it. It's not his help, and it kind of puts us in a tough spot. I think it's, on the ball is easier because that matchup. I think you've studied your personnel. You're locked into that guy. Just now when that play breaks down, do you have the discipline to help with, with a little bit more discipline, so he's not just running around. I think it gets caught in a lot of tough spots.
Last one. When he first got here and had all the experience overseas and everything, that was kind of like the wrap on him. Oh, he's really an old head. He's been doing this for a while. From your estimation of just getting to know him without having all of that context, I guess, is he as young as he seems? Does he seem like dancing out there, doing all that normal 20-year-old?
It's good to be young.
It's good to be young.
No, I think and I think it bodes to the environment that we've cultivated. I think guys enjoy being around each other. Obviously you got to pick your spots and know when we got to be focused and locked in, but also practice should be, enjoyable. I mean, you want to come to work and have a good time. That's okay. As long as we understand when it's time to have fun and when it's time to, really concentrate on what we're trying to do.
When you see it in terms of defensive rebound opportunities that got away. I get it. But are there specific, in terms of metrics, what do you look at to kind of confirm what your eyes tell you? Is it defensive rebounding percentage?
Yeah, for the most part, it's a percentage. And I think it's just a mentality where a lot of times we get caught into, your matchup being, hey, this guy's got so many rebounds, and it's got to be a collective mindset where it's not just on one person. It's all five on the floor have to be aware, excuse me, and just have that hit first mentality.
On the topic of rebounding, sorry, Kyle Kuzma, I think, is almost averaging a double-double this season. Did you expect him to be that much of a force on the board?
No, I didn't, honestly. And it goes back to, kind of learning this group as we've kind of grown together. I think we're showing, he's showing his ability to do quite a few things. And the rebounding has really been a plus for us. I wasn't aware of that being a strength of his, but thus far it's been tangible.
You're very familiar with where he was before this. Is part of that he was on a team where there were other guys who were gobbling up those boards?
I'm sure to a certain extent. I mean, you play with two marquee bigs and, a player like LeBron, it's, those guys are going to command quite a bit. So he maybe just doesn't have the opportunity to do so. And I think on the flip side, his ability to play make, you just don't get the opportunity in certain situations with certain groups.
Has Cleveland done what it's done? As so-called experts, didn't expect it, but what do we know?
I give JB a lot of credit. Those guys have really bought in. They're playing hard. It's crazy, even with them being shorthanded, how competitive they've been. They put a lot of pressure on the paint, so that once again is going to be a challenge for us. Whether that's their smalls living in the paint, or Jared Allen on the glass, or in the short roll. Their ability to change ends quickly, and then defensively they've been able to junk it up. So we just have to be prepared to see a little bit of everything.
All right, Coach.
What are your initial impressions? What are your initial impressions of Mobley?
He's talented. I mean, his length, athleticism, he can do a little bit of everything. I think it poses some problems for defenses because he can play off the bounce, can shoot it, and obviously get to the rim. He rebounds relatively well. And then defensively, though, his length can be problematic.
All right, Coach. We have time for just one question from Zoom. We'll take it from Karita.
Sorry about that. Hey, Coach, just quick. You mentioned growing as a team together. How are you approaching building chemistry with this team, especially being a new coach and also being new to the franchise?
Well, I think it just boils down to the relationship piece. We talked about that early on, how important that is. It's kind of as we get to know each other as people. That helps me be a better coach. I understand what drives certain guys, how to relate, how to get the most out of them. That also opens those line of communications. If there's things that we don't like, there's concerns, there's no hesitation. It can be voiced, and we can get past it. So I think it's the relationship component has helped facilitate some of that. But now you start to see the validation. We've had some degree of success, and that helps the buy-in, of course. So guys are feeling good about the way we play.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Out of Cleveland, I see a very big team. They play incredibly big. If you put marketing at the 3, their front court is all over 7 foot. Probably all 7'1". So, we got a work cut out for us. It's different. It's more of a taboo thing in the league. The league kind of plays big. If you think about 6'9" threes, 6'9", 6'10" fours, but they're playing everyone at that 7 foot mark. So it's definitely different, and we got to be ready for it.
When you're playing guys with length here that you kind of got to the entire roster, what's the most important part about establishing, I guess, a physical presence?
I mean, you just got to do your work early. It's cliche, but I mean, it's just what it kind of is. Can't out jump those guys, because they're taller. So doing your work early, whether that's on the boards, make sure we crack back, box down. Getting to those guys' legs on from a physical standpoint on rebounding offensively and defensively, and also just taking our time, knowing that when you get in the paint with a guy like Jared Allen or Mobley, they want to block shots as much as they can, which they are smart defenders and they do a great job of it. But playing paint to grade basketball is going to be big for us. We've been making strides in that department the past 2 games.
On Twitter, you referred to you, Harold, and KCP as the capital boys. Is that the nickname that you came up with?
No. That's just like, I say boys a lot. Like whatever my life, like I'm drinking wine with the homies, like I'm just saying, yeah, wine boys. So like, yeah, it's not just that, but we're in the capital, not us 3, but the team, the Washington Wizards are in the capital.
So that's not a nickname you want to stick or
Nah. That's just like how I talk, in my real life. Yeah.
And then in that tweet, there was a bunch of statistics about like where you guys rank in the top 10. Was there anything in that list that stood out to you?
I think we're like, it was like top top 10, or we're top 10 in threes. I feel like we've been shooting the ball pretty shitty all year. Everybody has really. And, that was kind of surprising. I think we were doing a better job than I expected on the defensive side of the ball. At the beginning of the year, especially with preseason, I was like, I don't know how's this going to go, but we've done a great job of defending at a high level, holding teams from the 3-point line exactly. So, we've been pretty good stats.
What do you attribute to specifically that last one, holding guys on the line and stuff like that?
I mean, that's all about just effort. I think we're doing a great job of, when we're in our drop coverages of guards, rear view contesting, forcing guys to play in the 2-point range where most of the guys in the league aren't really comfortable. And then the second part of that is just multiple effort plays, being able to be in at the low man and then sprint out and run a guy off, or have, great late contests, which is very important too, to that stat as well.
Say that as soon as a player until he or she coaches them, and I suppose people don't understand what it needs someone to play with. And I'm just curious, what are your thoughts about Daniel Gaff?
I mean, this is my really first year. I really like, being around him. Obviously, he's still a young player, played with the Bulls. Seen him a little bit, kind of knew just from watching a couple of games, earlier in his career in that sector, that he was a mobile style big, big that is not necessarily a unicorn in this league, but it's very rare to have someone that can be that much of a vertical rim threat in the air, block shots, alter shots, and just be like, really, really serviceable, like in pick and roll situations, off the short roll and dunking the ball. So he's done a great job this year. He's still young. He's still learning. He's doing a better job of, letting the game slow down. And, for instance, when he's catching the short roll, he's doing a great job in the past couple of games of, kicking it out to shooters, whether it's me or Kenny in the corners, which is a huge thing. Especially if you watch a guy like Draymond Green, anytime he's in that short roll, he's finding guys, in those corners for kill shots, and that's depleting for a defense. So, he's improving a lot.
Consider Michigan upper Midwest.
Say it again.
I consider Michigan kind of the upper Midwest, which is meant as a compliment.
I mean, it's still Midwest. What do you mean by that?
Well,
Upper?
I mean that there's a level of kindness that I sense in the Midwest.
Oh yeah, hospitality. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Values,
Wholesome.
What's that?
Wholesome.
Yeah.
Very wholesome.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, people being nice.
Yeah, 100%.
What's it? I'm sorry.
No. I mean, you're right.
So, Mike, this is your first time living out east, I think. Really, what have you discovered? What's it been like for you?
I mean, actually, when I was in high school, I lived in Philly for about a good year. So, I've kind of been on the East Coast. It's always interesting. I've lived everywhere. I haven't lived in the South, but it's just a different brand of people everywhere you go. When I think about the Midwest, it's hospitality. It's very kind, wholesome type of people. West Coast, it's a fast-paced, fast life, laid back, and the East Coast is, on the East you got to have that like hustler's mentality. People are kind of just, just keeping it moving, pushing it, kind of worrying about themselves. But I've adjusted here. I like it here. It's a lot of nice art museums and things of history that really intrigue me. So I'm having a blast.
Stuff after that you call KCP Kenny. I was
Kenny?
really hoping that was one of his nicknames when
Yeah. I think that's my nickname for him.
I also really liked your description of Denny the other day when you were just like, he's a sweet kid. It was just a perfect encapsulation of what Denny seems to be. But why did you like? What makes him like us? That kind of, it's kind of fluffy.
I mean, he's just a sweet kid. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, you don't really use that type of word for people, I guess, nowadays. Yeah, because that comes off as like being soft, but when you're asking me a question about someone being a human being, that's sweet. Being sweet is an ultimate compliment. That's being kind, someone that you can talk to, someone that is caring, and that's rare in society nowadays, and it's refreshing when you have those type of vibes around
Kyle, your uptick in rebounding this year, would you say that's a matter of opportunity, or do you feel like you really improved in that area?
you. Just minutes, just playing more minutes, really. I was, last year I probably played about 23, 24 minutes a night, and I was getting double doubles in that short amount of time. So obviously it's a lot of effort that goes into it, but I'm able to pace my energy a little bit, and playing more minutes, I'm gonna have more opportunities to find loose balls.
And also, Danny mentioned your work ethic and professionalism. What's been the biggest influence for you that's kind of instilled that work ethic?
A bunch of people. My mom is one person. She used to work 2 jobs, work all day, all night just to put food on the table. So at a young age, I was able to see that from the jump and realize it as a kid. You know, I've always just been a hardworking kid, really, honestly. I'm coming from Flint, Michigan, a town that a lot of people don't really make it out of. And, my only way out was just to work hard and just find a way. And I've had great role models in my life. All my friends were hardworking kids. So, we clicked right away. And obviously coming to the NBA, learning how to be a professional, being around guys like LJ, Rajon Rondo, so many different guys, even coaches, Miles Simon, great guy that really taught me about hard work and being professional. The list goes on and forth. And for me, I'm just a sponge. I love to, intake knowledge and listen. And, I've been fortunate to be around great people, great mentors.
All right, Kyle, let's transition over to Zoom for one question. We're going to take it from Karita.
Hey, Kyle, how are you? You guys have talked a lot about continuing to build your chemistry as a team, but as players, how do you build that same chemistry with your coach, a new coach at that?
I mean, those type of things kind of take time because, it's just an interesting landscape. When you talk about the NBA, you're always around your assistant coaches more as players. That's just how it always goes. Your your assistant coaches are the people that rebound for you, that work you out, that watch film with you. And you don't really always have that dialogue with head coaches in the NBA as player to head. But you also have rare occasions when you do. And I think what stands out about Wes is I'm not trying to hype him up because he told me about that, but he was an assistant coach for a long time, and he understands that kind of relationship between assistant coach and a player. So just with him being a head coach, he understands that realm. So it's just really easy to really just talk to him and ask him questions. And he always says that he's not always the smartest guy in the room. And when I'm saying that is it's not his way or the highway. Like if you have a question, you can ask him in front of the group, or you can be like, hey, I think this is a better way. And he'd be like, okay, let's do it that way. And that's rare. It's a guy that don't really have an ego, and that stands out because there's a lot of coaches in this league that are my way or the highway. And it's easy to get along with them. So.
And we'll take the last question from Neil.
Hey, Kyle, along those lines of, just working with an assistant coach, how has your relationship with Alex McLean grown from, when you guys first started here, and, how is he maybe pushing you in new ways?
Man, he's a good dude, man. He's a good guy. He's really knowledgeable about the game, and he has a certain type of enthusiasm about himself that he loves to be in the gym, and you know, if you follow him, you know, on and off the floor, you see, you know, it's not just about the Wizards. You know, he generally loves the game of basketball. He works out. You know, a lot of top, you know, female basketball players across the country, and that just kind of just shows you what type of guy he is. He loves basketball. So, you know, I actually knew him, you know, a little bit prior just because of, you know, mutual circles and mutual friends. But, you know, he's a guy that loves the game of basketball, and it's always fun to work with people that share that same type of love and passion as you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. Thank you.
You guys are very efficient at guarding the three-point line. What do you contribute that to, and what's kind of led to your success this year?
I guess the structure coach put in early. We go through our defensive shell every day in practice. So I think that helps just continue to push that and get out to the 3-point line and close out. And we just have guys that like to play hard. So that always helps.
Traded here, what do you kind of make of the total return that you guys got as part of that trade, just coming in with Spencer and Kyle?
Yeah, I always said like it was a great trade for us. A lot of guys that work hard, know how to play the game, and really like to play defense. So all those three things combined, it should work out for us this year. And I said before, most people thought we probably lost the trade, but I think we won it.
And I guess in terms of what you've been able to work on individually, what do you feel like you've improved or maybe tightened up since just the start of the season, like the system, that kind of stuff?
Just getting out there, playing with pace, obviously picking up my defense. That's one thing I try to focus on a lot, and just trying to get guys involved, whether that's driving, kick, or just getting the ball moving. So those three things are probably the things I got better at the most.
When you guys had I think Wes said before, you needed a nice rebound win.
Mhm.
How did you kind of flip the switch, refocus, whatever, get back into the groove
Yeah.
in between those two losses before Memphis?
In our practice, our shoot around, we were locked in. We were going hard. And the main thing was just locked in. So having that early in the morning, the day before, and that early in the morning before the game, it really helped us out there before.
Just to follow up on what you said a minute ago. I guess as a player, like, do you take pride in trying to win a trade? Is that something that
I mean, I feel like it's unwritten rule that you want to win a trade. Like, if you get traded, you will want to be like obviously on the winning end. So that is just a thought process. I don't think it's like a one. It's just something you think about.
Hey, what was it like playing your brother?
It was awesome. It's always a blessing to get out there and play against one of my brothers. We've come a long way to get here. They were here long before I was, so it's a blessing for sure.
You had the jersey swap.
Hmm.
Special moment.
For sure. I've played against them for 3 or 4 years now, so we pretty much do that every time. So it's pretty cool. It's a special moment for me and my family.
Was your dad at the game?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah. What's a desired outcome for him, for your family? Like, when you guys are in this situation?
I mean, they just want to see us play hard and do well. That's pretty much it. Obviously, they know how talented we are. They're the reasons we got here. So they just want to see us get out there and have fun and play hard.
It's not like that necessarily good for the teams.
Nah, they don't really care who wins, honestly.
Where are all those jerseys though? Do you just have like a pile for your jerseys?
Nah, I have them. So I have each team that they were on. So I have them hung up in my basement. Yeah, I frame them. So.
How are you getting adjusted to life here in DC?
Pretty good. It's a nice city. I've been around to all the monuments in a little tour bus, so that was pretty cool. But it's a lot more I got to see. But it's a nice city. I love it. It's a lot to do out here. It's busy, so it's pretty cool.
All right, Aaron, we got time for one question from Zoom, and we'll take that from Neil.
Hey, Aaron, along those lines, out of all the monuments that you saw, was there a specific spot or tourist location that you most enjoyed?
I pretty much enjoyed all of it, man. We were in a tour bus, or it was a van, for like 4 hours, and it was just cool just to get out and see all the monuments and stuff. Honestly, it was a blessing to see all of it.
Was that your first time kind of just taking DC in that much depth?
Yeah, that was my first time. I've only been out here when I worked out for DC in the 2018 before the 2018 draft. So it was pretty cool to get out here and see everything.
Appreciate it, Aaron.
Yep.
That tour that you had, something you just repeat with,
Yeah, with my family. Yeah, we just got on the little van and toured around.